All right, you guys, this is it. Page 530, last page off of this entire topic. It's got a lot going on, so stick around, pay attention. Here we go. The first part is that the grid showing location of a sandbox and a fountain in a park. And from this point, I'm going to use S and F to represent the sandbox and the fountain. I started by finding the slope from the sandbox to the fountain by counting down in the change in Y and across to get the change in X. So that'd be -4/8. When I reduce that fraction, I get a value of -1/2. Also, in this video, notice that I've got the point slope formula, but it's a variation of the point slope formula where I added y1 to both sides. Next, I put the location of the sandbox in coordinate form, which means from 0, 0, it's 1 space to the left and 10 spaces up at the coordinate -1, 10. I had a little bit of trouble here for a minute here because I did have so many lines going on it, but it is across from the origin 7 spaces to get to the fountain, and then up 6 spaces, which means the coordinate is at 7, 6. And the slope from S to F still fits that format of down 4, across 8. In the first question, it says a scavenger hunt clue is buried 1/3 of the way from the sandbox to the fountain. So I've got in my graph a little bit ahead of the game, but I'm going to determine the location of the clue by thinking about how I can divide some line segment into thirds, and then from that line segment, use it to draw a line directly to there. I realized if I go straight down from the fountain to the x-axis, that was 6 spaces, and 6 divides into thirds really, really nicely because it's 2 spaces every single one. Well, from this point back up to the sandbox, I had to draw a line so that all of these other lines go through this division line, and they go with the same slope up to the other edge. It's really easy to draw those extra points because if this is going from 0, 0 up, or from 7, 0 up 2 spaces, this is also going to go up 2 spaces, and then I'm going to connect them with a line. This one will also go up 2 more spaces, and then I'm going to connect with a line. But I guess, really, I don't need this line at all. Okay? It's only line 1, L1, that I need. So count the slope. The slope of line 1 is going down 10 spaces, so change in y of 10, and going across 8 spaces. I have 8. Yeah, 8, because -1 plus 7 makes 8. So it reduces to a fraction of -5/4. And if I pick this dot right here, this dot is located at 7, 2 on line 1. So there is a line from L1 that crosses the line of the sandbox to the fountain. In the previous activities, we talked about writing the equations of the lines, and then writing the equations of both lines, and then we're going to set those equations equal to each other. So that's what I have here, is I have the sandbox fountain equation equal to the line that crosses it, and we'll cut it into thirds. And I'm multiplying both sides by the biggest denominator, -4, so that these fractions will disappear. But then I have to multiply everything by -4. So this whole fraction will reduce to 5, but the 2 times -4 makes -8. That's going to reduce and make the fractions gone, but the numbers that are not fractions are going to multiply up. Now I'm going to distribute, and so that's what you're seeing right here, is I distributed both sides. I distributed 2 to x and 2 to 7 to make -14, and I distributed 5 to x and 5 to 7 to make 5x minus 35. This is all at this point photo math, because you're going to continue to solve the equation to get x equals 1 2/3. But if you know that x equals 1 2/3, then you're going to have to go back and solve to figure out the y coordinate. So I'm picking the equation for the sandbox to the fountain, and I'm going to replace the x coordinate in the sandbox to fountain equation, replace that x with the x that we got from solving for it. And when I do, again, this is a Desmos, or this is a know your fraction subtraction. I just went to my calculator and I got 8 2/3. In other words, the scavenger hunt clue is located at the coordinate 1 2/3, 8 2/3 right here. Last question. Get these sticky notes out of the way for a second. Okay. In the last question, the swings are located 3/4 of the way from the sandbox to the fountain. What that means is they're 1/4 of the way from the fountain to the sandbox, going the other direction. To determine the location of the swings, I'm going to just go back up to the grid, and I'm going to count that the slope of this line has a height of 4 and a change in x of 8. So I can take either of those numbers and divide by 4 and then count back that much. It's like one of the techniques we saw in this lesson of make 4 slope triangles, since the slope triangles are also a way to partition the segment into fractions. So 1/4 of the way would be over 2 in the other direction and up 1 to right there. You know, I didn't realize right away that I had the exact coordinates 5, 7. I figured the y coordinate had a height of 7. Then I picked the equation. I made the y format, again, this one. I made the y value equal 7, and then I solved. Again, this is all photo math from this point on. There's subtraction, there's distribution, there's addition, and when we're done and we've combined like terms, we get x equals 5. But therefore, this is a way of saying the swings are located at 5, 7. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching all of these videos. Thank you for being all the way done with topic 1. You are awesome. Appreciate your work. I'll see you in the next episode when we start topic 2. Have a good one.